You mentioned that Genghis Khan's childhood, Temujin, was marked by extreme tribal violence. Can you describe sort of the state of affairs in the steppe? How much violence is there? How much kidnapping is there?
The story of Temujin is not a unique story for that time. Now, as an isolated family of outcasts, of course, he's not participating in the various feuds and the raids of the people around him, but they are constantly raiding in the winter. And for women and for horses and for any kind of valuables that they can find, it's almost like their way of getting trade goods from China. That one group raids the other in order to find out whatever they have for textiles or for metal. Mongols produce nothing. They they could produce felt to make their tents, but they were not craftsmen. And so they had to get these items from somewhere, and it was through raiding. And so even in the genealogy of Temujin, you see going back generation after generation of women having been kidnapped, children born who are not necessarily the father's child, and it's unclear who the father was. And all of these issues go back for a long time. Later, Genghis Khan will realize, once he becomes Genghis Khan, he will realize that the true source of most of the feuding on the steppe is over women. And later, he will outlaw the kidnapping of women and the sale of women, in part not only because of what had happened to his mother, but what happened to him next in his life.
And this is one of the things you talk about. This, in some ways, the love story with his wife was her kidnapping was the defining. If you could point to one place where Genghis Khan, the conqueror, was created, it's that point.
Yes.
His wife being kidnapped. Can you describe, first of all, his love for this woman and what that means, and what the kidnapping of her meant?
At age 16, Bertha, the girl he had met when he was 8 years old and she was 9, she's now 17, and she and her mother come. It's hard to even imagine what it was like for this 16-year-old boy who has suffered these indignities of life in every way that you can imagine. And suddenly, here is the love of his life who's going to be living with him, making him happy. He has somebody who loves him. It's not just his mother running around getting food and trying to feed the 5 children and plus the other wife and her 2 children. No, he has somebody who loves him. And it's all the excitement that you can imagine with the fire in the eyes and the excitement. And then it only lasts a few months. And so there they are. And there's a lady visiting them. We don't know exactly who she is, but just they called her grandmother Kawakchin. Granny Kawakchin is there. And Granny Kawakchin is sleeping, of course, on the floor of the ger, the tent. And early in the morning, she feels the vibrations in the earth. And she knows that horsemen are coming. She rouses the family. And Mother Erlun is in charge. Mother Erlun is still in charge, even though Temujin is now married. She puts all of her children on a horse. She takes the baby girl, Temulin, in her own lap. She has one extra horse, but she won't take Bersta because she knows, she doesn't know who the men are. She has no idea, but they're coming in the dark. They're coming for a woman. They know there's a girl there. This family of outcasts has acquired a wife, and they know that they're coming for that. And so she leaves Xochitl, the other wife. She leaves this old lady, Granny Kawakchin, who actually has her own cart, and she leaves Bersta. They pile into Granny's cart, and it's only an ox to pull it, so they don't get too far before the attackers get there. But Mother Erlun is right. She's able to get her children off to the mountain, into Burkhan Khaldun, to the mountainside, away from them, because the men are so focused on this cart and finding out how many women are in there and who they are and all. So Mother Erlun saved her family, but at a cost. Suddenly, Temujin realizes He has obeyed his mother, but he's lost the most important thing in his life. And I do think this is the defining moment of his life. The story began back when his mother was kidnapped, but now the kidnapping of his wife, I think, is to define what will he do? What should he do? What can he do? Is he going to just resign himself to it? Is he going to go out look for another wife? And he decides that life is not worth living without Bertha. He has found something good in this life, and if he has to die trying to get her back, he will die trying to get her back.
And this is the early steps of the military genius born, because in order to get her back requires an actual organization of troops.
He needs allies.
Allies.
He goes to a man who ruled the Kariat people in central Mongolia, kind of on the Tol River, about where the capital Ulaanbaatar is today. He goes there because that Wang Han is his name, or Torgal Han. He goes there because Wang Han had been the lord over his father at one point, and his father had gone on raids for him. And so he went there. And actually, he took a gift. That's because Bertha's mother had brought a sable coat as a gift for Mother Erlun at that time of the marriage. So he took the coat, and he took it and he gave it as a gift to Wang Han and asked for his help. And Wang Han said yes. And he said, I will send some troops, but we need more. And you need to ask Jamukha. You need to ask him to come also. He said, I will send a message to him to get troops.